Good morning to you. It is the last day of January. It is the last day of January. It is the 31st. Tomorrow is February. So, all you February babies, your month is up. It is coming up tomorrow. It is the first. So, if your birthday is on the 1st of February, I will give you the very first happy birthday. I won't give you a birthday text because I don't know you, but I will give you a happy birthday digitally, like today, digitally. So, happy birthday to you. Um, yeah. So how has your week been so far? I pray that you've had a blessed week, and hopefully you're warm. It is very cold right here in the Central Texas area. It was like 28 degrees when I left the house to come out to do this. So if I can say good morning to you, if I can get through this cold weather to say good morning to you, you can say good morning to me in return. Peace. Good morning, Miss Scott. Yes, it is beyond cold. It is freezing. If I was a cursing person, I probably would have said a cuss word, but I'm not. So you ain't gonna get that today. So uh yeah. So how has your week been so far? I mean, I know it's only Tuesday, but how has your week been so far, Miss Scott? I pray that your week um not just warm that you're staying, but I pray that your week has been a week to where you can self-reflect or get things done, be progressive, productive, whatever it is that you do it well. All right, so today we're going to be talking about, let me put the question up, the caption. Let me put the caption up because I want to learn as well. I want to learn from you just a little bit. So, what season do you feel that you're in? What season do you feel you're in? Are you in your, I don't know, um, do you feel you're in your harvest? Do you feel you're in your season of, I don't know, whatever it is? I can't say. I mean, it's not my season. I mean, I know what season I'm in. I'm more in a learning season or a redirection season because there are so many different things that I'm reading, that I'm studying, that I'm finding out, that I'm reshaping, uh, and I'm just in that space to where I want to learn different things and I'm finding different things out because I am looking for them. Like I am physically and emotionally engaged into. Well, I can't say emotionally because I'm psychologically and psychologically engaged and mentally engaged in finding new things. So because I want to reshape my season, and because I'm in that season, I feel I'm learning more. Right? I feel I'm learning more because I am actively engaged in finding these things out. So what season are you in, and what season have you found yourself to be in? Because today we're talking about it's upward season, right? It's upward season. That's what we're communicating about. It's upward season. So let's go ahead and jump into it, switch these screens out, and just have this open dialogue like we always have, like we always say. So what I want you to do, put inside the chat upward season. Because upward season is a place. It's not a carnal direction, but it is a direction of progression. It is a direction of, what's the word? It is a direction based off of a decision. I should put it that way. Upward is a direction based off of a decision. So as you already know, you're going to get definition of words and you're going to get not really an etymology because we're not going that deep in the definition, but you're going to get definition of words. You're going to get the inversion of those definitions. It's either going to be red or white or white over red. If there is no inversion, then it is what it is. The definition it had enough power by itself. So let's go ahead and jump. So the first definition that we're going to pay attention to is upward. The first definition of upward, it says toward a higher place, point, or level. toward a higher place, point, or level. That's upward. So there's no inversion on this because I think all of it really began to allow us to paint a picture of what does upward season or what can upward season look like for us, because you're going towards a higher place. So therefore, if you're going towards a higher place, you possibly have come from a place of a lower degree or a place of a lower point, whether it is a lower emotional point or a point to where you were either down and out or you just begin to ascend past the current level that you're in or on at the same time. So now let's go to the next definition of upward, which is moving, pointing, or leading to a higher place, point, or level. And what I want you to pay attention to on this is all of it, because there's no inversion. So what I got out of this one was, because it says moving, pointing, or leading to a higher place, I really took leading out of it. I probably should have had inverted that, because leading out of it, that means that there was a decision that you made to what? There was a decision that you made to go in that direction. Like, what season are you presently in? And can you alter that decision by alter that season by making a decision to lead or to be led in a different direction? Because I know for me, like in the beginning of this year, I was in a different season. And now that I'm beginning to read more, study more, I feel that I am forcing myself to acquire more. So being that I'm reading more and I am devoted to acquiring more, that I'm being led in a different season, and my season has changed even within the first month of 2023, because I'm being led in that direction, because there is a direction that I am purposefully going into. And I knew if I was going to get there, then I have to change the way I think, the way I think and what I expose myself to. Because it said leading to a higher place. Like, where do you feel you're being led right now in your season? Like, what has your season done for you that is leading you into a different season? It's a choice. And last definition of upward, it says toward a higher place, opposed to downward. And the inversion that I want you to pay attention to on this one is red over white, opposed to downward. And I want you to look at this and examine the inner you. Opposed to downward, upward looks a whole lot better, right? Opposed to downward, upward is the other side. Opposed to downward, upward is that higher place. Opposed to downward, upward is a repositioning on the job. Opposed to downward, upward is that level that you have been striving for, but you have made a conscious decision that that level is for me. Opposed to downward, I am going towards that higher place because I've made a decision that I'm going to be opposed to the downward spiral that I often find myself in, because I know that there is something greater that is out there for me. And opposed to downward, upward looks a whole lot sweeter than what I've been experiencing or what I've been seeing. Opposed to downward, upward is that shiny new coin. Opposed to downward. So what are you talking about, are to opposed to downward? Well, let's look at the definition of the word opposed. It says eager to prevent or put it into. Again, I'm just giving you definition because opposed to downward is upward. Like opposed to being broke, savings look a whole lot better when you're opposed to being broke. Because remember, opposed is what? Eager to prevent or put it into. Putting an end to not having financially what you know you should have is being eager enough to understand practicing of being a better steward with your finances is always going to be better because it is opposed to downward. It is opposed to your financial instabilities. It is opposed to the pain that you have been going through because you're eager to prevent it. You're eager to put an end to it because now you're going to begin to change your season. And you're going to have to tell yourself it's upward season because I'm eager to prevent the pain. I'm eager to 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 oppose the trauma that I've faced or the situations that I found myself in or the conditions that I'm currently and presently in right now. I have to put an end to it because I oppose that downward position. I oppose that downward feeling. I oppose the downward situations that I found myself in. So I am going to be eager to prevent it from happening again. Are you opposed to downward? So let's begin to take this deep dive real quick. So the seasons of life is transitional, right? We all know that, I'm sure. And the season of life is transitional is naturally from one phase to another. But a lot of times the phases that we transition to is a result of our thoughts, our values, our beliefs. But we have to begin to become consistent in cultivating our minds. Like right now, I am cultivating my mind to learn new things. So therefore, I must put myself in spaces that I wasn't in before I made that decision. I want to learn about this. So therefore, if I want to learn about this, I need to go where this is. You can't allow the fear to take you away from it because you haven't even walked towards it. Because we all know that life operates in cycles and seasons, like life's opportunities and windows of opportunities change. And in those opportunities, there are decisions and transitions that we need to understand that needs to be made. Like the transitions of how we think and how we feel and what we do and where we go. But we remain stuck in our limited thinking, and that keeps us trapped in our heads because being trapped in your head is a very, very hard place to get out of until you talk yourself out of that position. Have you ever talked yourself out of your head? Because I know what it feels like to talk yourself in your head. Like, man, I'm in my head right now and I need to get out of my head. Because when you're in your head, you're trapped and you prevent yourself from thriving and surviving. We're going to have to tell ourselves that upward is my season because I opposed the downward. I know what down feels like. I know what feeling low feels like. I know what negativity feels like. I know what that negative situation feels like. I know what those negative thoughts feels like. We're going to have to begin to speak to our season and change the atmosphere. You're going to have to speak healing to your hurt. Speak creativity to your crafty ways. Break past those barriers that keep bounding you in fear, because life is all about change. And we are consistently changing the length of time that we find ourselves in those seasons. We're going to have to change it, because if we don't change it, you're going to find yourself constantly in that season and hard to break out of it. And until you eagerly want to prevent it from happening again, it's not going to end. Because remember, Oppose said, put an end to it. Because in order for you to put an end to something, you're going to have to do what? Make a decision. Upward decision is simply a reflection of our state of mind. Like, where do you see yourself right now? Do you see yourself making a decision that's going to change a trajectory for you for the rest of the year? Do you see the decision that you're going to make that's going to change a trajectory of your life's cycle, or for your children? Are you going to begin to think and rethink the process of thought that's going to begin to close the wealth gap between you and your children? Or are you going to continue to stay the same way and widen that gap between what your child should know and what you are afraid to figure out? Like, how long do you want to be down? Because that same energy that takes you to recognize that you're down is the same energy that you can use to change your season and put you in a position to be in an upward season. Because it's only your season if you feel that you can claim it. It's only your season when you know that it's yours. It is only your season when you recognize that something about you is not just changing, but something about you is beginning to cultivate new processes of thoughts. Because when there is a new cultivation and process of thought, there are new things that you're going to do. You're going to begin to go places that you know that you're supposed to. You're going to begin to walk away from places that you know you're not supposed to. You're going to begin to learn the things that you know that is going to be in favor of the progress of that going forward is going to look like. You're not going to do the same things. You're not going to say the same things. You're not going to continue to feel those same feelings of self-doubt. Because a lot of times we terminate ourselves because we don't terminate our fears. We don't take ourselves out of the box that we put ourselves in. And remember the definition of opposed. It said to be eager to prevent and to put it into. And remember, that's based off a decision. Until you are eager to prevent that from happening again, you will stay in that season. You will stay in that turmoil. You will stay in that trauma. You will stay in that pain. You will stay in that same process of thought. Until you are opposed to that downward spiral, you will never begin to move upward in a velocity that's going to take you surpass any other thing that you've ever gone through. It's a choice and a transition. Like, what do you choose for yourself? Because let's look at it this way. Whether you have children or not, there's somebody that's watching you, because the decision that you make, that you choose to change, can change the outcome of someone who has depended on you to change. Because if you can't depend on you, then how is that person that depends on you going to depend on you? That's a state of mind. Upward is not a carnal direction. Upward is the decision that you made to change. It is an eager decision that you made to prevent yourself from doing that again. You put it into that downward spiral. You put it into the anxieties that you have. Because remember, anxiety is just a reflection of the thoughts that you had. That's what anxiety is. It is a mere reflection of your thoughts, transpose and transcend into its physical form. That's why you begin to sweat and you begin to shake and you begin to having a hard time breathing. That is thought transition into its physical form. All right, that's enough. Man, I appreciate you guys for being here. Here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. What season are you in? And when you realize that you're in a season that you know that you can move upward from, change your season, change your atmosphere, and be opposed to the downward spiral, or be opposed to the downward, and be eager to prevent yourself from going down there. Change your season and move upward as you grow. Y'all be blessed. Put down your takeaways and what you got from it, because this upward season, you just need to reach up and get it. Peace.